There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Fellow anime heads, it is time for us to talk about one of the biggest anime that came around quarter four? When we started winter of 2024. DanDaDan, which bursted onto the scene and took over Crunchyroll thanks to not only the theme, but the amazing animation, the humor, and if we want to get into it, which we will, the emotional storytelling that goes hand in hand with the humor. You know what I'm saying? So hit the ground running, made it to the top of the charts, and it was actually warranted. It wasn't like a phase, you know? So, a quick little thumbs up, thumbs down from you guys. How do you guys feel? Kind of the same way when it comes to DanDaDan?
Double thumbs up!
And I feel like in no small part, the music itself, as far as the intro, and was just, it caught on like wildfire. I mean, you had like thousands of TikTok videos, Instagram posts.
Oh, yes.
People were eating it up. I mean, that's gotten like worldwide acclaim for the intro song. So, what up, Black?
What up, Black? What's up, man? But yeah, so we got amazing news. Shout out to the one and only MRKSX from the Dat Feeling Music label. He hooked us up with a theme song. I just reached out. I figured we needed something of our own, guys. You know, not that there was anything wrong with the previous intro, but new year, new us. Reached out.
Yeah.
He hooked us up with the audio. Reached out to somebody over on Fiverr who hooked us up, and I'll tag their Fiverr handle in the description when we put this up on the YouTube channel and everything. But
excellent work, yeah,
amazing work, and we're super stoked to show you this intro. Black says 2 bananas for DanDaDan. You freak. What up, CJ over there on Nightmares and Nerdscapes? So, are we taking our shot prior to the intro?
Yeah.
Okay. We shall do that. Oh, I thought you had a bottle of soju taking it to the head. I was like, sir.
Oh, I would.
Sir.
I would. I should do that next time I go to Lotte Mart over here.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
All right.
All right.
Here we go. Cheers.
Oh, that's a sick shot glass, Willie.
Oh, my boy Naruto.
They got so much at that Lotte store, too.
They do. Man, I be pouring the heaviest shots, man.
That's not a good lime.
Whew. Ugh. All right. Now that that's out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, episode 13 of Eat the Cake Anime with our new opening starting right now.
The following is a presentation of the Dat Feeling Podcast Network, reminding you to always question the answers. Eat the cake. Eat the cake. Eat it. Eat the cake. Yeah. Eat the cake. Eat the cake. Well, all right. I bet you thought you stumbled on another podcast. Of course you're right, but let me tell you about the contrast. It's really different, not an exit from the Comcast. We cover anime today and other times past. Listen and learn in that order, then replay. Be entertained by Mac, Jackie, and EJ. 3 hosts doing way more than the most, proving you can pay the lion, but it's all in the approach. Originals and sequels, the newbies and the Ichigos. The world's up in flames to the ones more peaceful. The weapons or the Shuto, Manga, Naruto, Monkey D. Luffy, and a lot more that you know. Subscribe, hit the like, give the algorithm life once. We trying to get the same pie that Apple took a bite from. Join the conversation, let us know if you can relate. If not, you still might be forced to eat the cake. Anime, hey, hey, eat the cake. Hey, hey, anime, eat the cake. Anime, eat the cake. Anime, hey, hey, eat the cake. Hey, hey, anime, eat the cake. Anime, eat the cake. Anime.
That was so cool.
God.
Excellent.
So
Excellent.
cool. I didn't expect to see us 3 pop up. I was like, ah!
That's us.
That's me.
Yeah. So, it's dope. I love it. Again, shout out to my man Mark, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks,
Great
Mark.
stuff. Thank you.
Shout out to Jackie, because he was like, "What beat you want me to sample?" She wasted no time coming back saying the Creepy Nuts, Bling Bang Bang Born, and I was just like, I don't know how you're gonna make this work. It's a faster beat. He was able to slow it down, find a sample. I'm just like, bro, this dude is talented. And like I said, the freelance artist that hooked up the anime music video I mean, it all just came together, and I just sprinkled a little bit on top of it. So there we have it.
Dope.
There we have it. CJ's like, it's better than mine. I don't like it.
Give it time, CJ. Give it time.
But without wasting any more time, we did the intro, we did our shots. I feel we should just jump right into creating the manga and start talking about this amazing creator and the story that they created when it comes to DanDaDan.
Yeah.
So, Jackie, what you got for us as far as the creator and some info on the manga?
All right. So, biggest thing with the manga right now, for everyone that ever wants to get into and start reading it, now's the time because there's only 18 volumes out and it's still going on. Came out in 2021, and so far it originally had 4 million copies sold when it first got published, and when the anime came out, it doubled in sales to now 8 million copies. That's just continuously circulating.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Mom. Hi,
Jackie's mom.
Worldwide.
Hi, Jackie's mom.
she don't know. She don't get any of this shit. She's just here for the ride.
The support.
And
I love
maybe
it.
the shots.
Yeah, I love the support.
But yeah, so 8 million copies sold since the anime premiered, which I think is insane because that's only like really after a year October 2024 to now since January 2025. That's crazy
awesome.
that it doubled in sales just from like 4 months because of the anime. But for anyone that wants to know about the genres, action, romantic comedy, it's a supernatural thriller. The dude that created it, his name is Yukinobu Tatsu. Originally, when he first started creating, I actually have a lot of fun facts about this guy because what I thought was really interesting was the creation of DanDaDan itself and how it came to be, rather than so much like the exact specifics of the manga. So I can get into all that if you want me to.
Go ahead.
All
We're
right,
here
perfect.
for it.
Perfect. So, I guess I should say like what it's about. So it's about two characters. For anyone that doesn't know, again, these two nerds right here, right behind me. All right, Momo is the chick, and then you got Ken Takakura, but she calls him Akarun, and mostly it's just a play on words because he's super into aliens and stuff, and he's an otaku, so she like kind of combines the things. But she believes in ghosts, so they meet on different circumstances. She's known as kind of like the popular chick. He's kind of nerdy and gets bullied. She defends him like one day. They like, I don't want to say they bond. They actually get into a fight, really an argument about like what is the best, and they decide to prove each other like wrong by going to each other's opposite interests in scary places, and then it just kind of goes from there, and they go through all their adventures. But the creator, he tried to create other series that I guess were just like not doing well. One of them was called Fireball, and I can't remember what the other one was, but they were just not doing good. And then he started working with the editor Shihei Lin, who's the deputy editor in chief at Shonen Jump Plus, who worked on Chainsaw Man and is most notably known for editing Spy Family. So now when he started working with him, at first like he wasn't able to produce really anything noteworthy. He could draw really well, but there was no substance to create a story with, and he kind of experienced what's known as like a writer's block, right? And so Shihei, or I guess Lin is the correct way you would call him, Lin Sensei, realized that he was he had a lot of potential, so he just said, you know what, screw it, screw the what's known as like extensive nemu, which is like thumbnails or rough drafts used to outline pacing and character movements in manga. So screw the restrictions, screw like you have to do this. Let me just give you creative freedom, and whatever you feel, just start drawing something and let's see what we got. And that's how he began building DanDaDan. So it was just spontaneous creative freedom with a lot of the iconic elements were coming out of casual conversations between them. So a lot of like the plot, especially like a lot of it comes from I don't know if this is spoiling it, but um Okaroon gets something stolen from him, and it's I'll just say it's fine.
I
And it's
think
his balls.
I think we could say, I mean, season part 1 of, or I guess you could call
Yeah,
this
we're on
season
season
1.
2. I mean,
Yeah, season 2
Yeah.
comes out in a couple months. Like everything's available on Netflix or Crunchyroll. You can go knock out all these episodes. So we could talk about it.
Okay, I still won't go super in detail with stuff,
Right.
but the funny part's like, so Okaroon gets his balls stolen, like, and literally, like they do,
it literally
he
is.
does, and I like came out is like while they're like creating all these characters, they were drinking one night, and the editor just randomly was like, and then he got his balls taken, and he's like, yeah, and then they just decided to make that a thing. So like there's no actual, he wanted to not stick to like a static plot. He just wanted him to like create characters, come up with a fun, playful thing, and the creator doesn't like standard horror stuff like Ito. Sorry, I'm gonna butcher his name. Jin Ito is a well-known horror author in Japan.
Yep.
If you go on Netflix, there's a whole Jin Ito series where it talks about all the horror stuff, and it's really creepy and scary. He doesn't like that stuff, so he wanted to, but he likes horror and weird stuff, so he wanted to take a spin on it and bring comedy and playfulness and other stuff into it, where you still get the creepy things and stuff, but then you also get like the fun stuff so you can enjoy the horror. And even I guess to this day, yep, banana. Um, you know, I will say today yesterday I was running on the treadmill, and I can't like run without watching something, and I didn't have any animes that I wanted to watch, but and I was like, I'll just rewatch the first episode of DanDaDan just so I can like get ready for this podcast, forgetting the really awkward scene
Yeah, it's
towards
Yeah.
like
my
there's
yeah.
some robots and they're trying to procreate and they're bringing their banana out and it's just a small thing and there's like and I was like I started fast forwarding. These people are probably like, what the hell is this bitch watching right now? She got hentai up in here, in the cardio part, the on base gym. Like, oh my god! But yeah, so it's really funny. There's a lot of comedy. There's even like romance in it too, but it's like the romance part of it I think is so refreshing as well.
Mhm.
The artistry, like Willie's gonna show some stuff later, but when you see the art, so the dude that created it also illustrated it. He's a fantastic artist. He's
Yes.
also worked on what is it called? Fire Punch and Hell's Paradise. He was an assistant
Hell's
to a
Paradise,
lot
yeah.
of those. Which, if anyone's ever watched Hell's Paradise and seen the art for
Here's
that
some of
anime,
the sketches that he put up.
oh yeah, like
Yeah.
he's
He's
fantastic.
gifted. I love his perspectives, the way he does perspectives, especially with motion. Like right there is a perfect example.
Look
The
at this,
Mhm.
man.
the action that's being conveyed, plus the perspective of the two. Like you're seeing both characters, but it's just. I think it's very impressive. It's different.
Well, he gets a lot of his inspiration. There's a lot of things he gets his inspiration from. One is The Grudge and The Ring. Other ones is a really popular horror called Sadako v versus Kayako. Um, I didn't get to like research too much into that, but it's about like demons that are like inside, or this demon that takes over this young child's body as a girl and
Mhm.
is like inside of her. And then they're like battling out of like whose body's who, basically. And I guess it has a little bit of comedy to that as well. So he got a lot of inspiration from that movie, as well as Ultraman, which was created back in 1966. It's a Japanese like hero thing that became like a huge pop culture phenomenon, and that also Ultraman also inspired Ant-Man's um, suit, Ant-Man's suit. also inspired the Pokeball for what that looks like, and then lots of inspiration for Dragon Ball Z in general, the
Ultraman's
manga
huge.
and the anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, my
he had a lot
nephews
of
and stuff they just
yeah,
run around and they're like,
yeah.
like doing
And I
poses
guess
and
there's
stuff.
like really interesting weird characters in
Yeah,
Ultraman
there's
too.
crazy looking monsters in Ultraman. It's kind of like
Yeah.
the best explanation would be like it's a main focus of a character, or instead of it being like the Power Rangers, it's just one dude.
Oh, look at that. That's insane,
Oh,
dude.
I know. Just the work, the ink work alone. I mean, look at that, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, the dude's just super talented. So the fact that he can take all these different types of horrors and then just create this weird world that just kind of draws you in, and you're just like, it's creepy, but you're like having fun while also kind of creeped out, while also like laughing at the same time. It's just this really joyous ride that I really enjoy. Um, the entire story that's being brought upon it. The first season was amazing, and the characters and the personalities that he chose to
Yeah,
also like bring into it. From my understanding, a lot of it is just from casual conversations that he has with people, and then he gets inspiration from that, and then he just goes off with like
yeah,
whatever he wants it to be from there, which I think is really cool.
yeah. Well, they're huge into the supernatural and anything like paranormal, like you know, um, alien visitation and stuff. So that's just
That's
permeates through the whole
crazy.
culture. And you know, from what I understand, is he took a lot of that as just drawing inspiration for just a period. You know, like you were saying about his writer's block or his idea block. He was like, he's always, checked out different supernatural types of magazines or books on aliens and so forth. So he kind of incorporated that into into his art, and then it just started flourishing into a story. So that's kind of cool that it's something he is actually into. So it kind of
Hmm.
reflects his passion with the detail and effort into his work. I mean, it shows. It's really nice.
Yeah, and I really like because we talked about that there's no real plot. So there, I don't want to say there's no real plot. There kind of is, right? Like there's something going on, and you can keep this story going for a while because there's just little things that are happening that it's easy to keep it going. You can introduce new monsters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we noticed as we were watching it, me and Steven, we were like, yeah, there's not real any like world building story or anything crazy like that. This is just a very simple plot. And I really enjoy the simplicity of it, that it's just like comedy. But then there's also like some not challenging, but like other intricate things that you know that there's other things you don't know about that they'll
Mhm.
probably introduce later, but it's still very reminds me of Kaiju number 8, because I think Kaiju number 8 is also so like kind of a very like easy plot to follow, and it but there's a plot there, and it's fun,
Yeah.
it's nice, and it's
The
not
overall
like
larger
random.
plot or larger story isn't really fleshed out or shown to us completely yet. But because you're traveling through it with the focus on two high schoolers, so it's
Yeah.
their interactions, their day to day. But then there's this huge overarching plot going on, be it through aliens and the supernatural, and they kind of touch on it here and there because both of them are linked to it throughout the story. They get linked in different ways to this
Yeah.
event, but I thought it was a different take. I mean, you hear a lot of just supernatural stuff, like
Yeah, it's always just one or the other. I was just
yeah,
about to say I
exactly.
thought it was really cool that he
He
decided to
merged
bring
them.
both
Yeah.
together in a way, which I still don't understand how that's working yet. And this dude's on straight vibes. That's all he's on. He's like, whatever I'm feeling, like I kind of have like a path, but like as things come in, that's kind of like what I'll add to it, which I think is cool too.
Was it?
And it's just I'm along on this ride of vibes, man. Like I'm
wh-
so here for it.
I don't know if I'm remembering correctly because I mean, but I could have sworn Momo had mentioned it or just theorized in one of the later episodes before the finale that, or maybe it's Okran. I'm not sure, but they were talking about how possibly the spiritual activity and the supernatural events, they started to link that to the aliens, to what you do get to witness. And it's one of the theories is that the supernatural events, not to protect humans but to protect the planet, are in competition with the aliens. It's a battle between the two in a way, is what they hinted at. But that's why I said
Yeah, I remember that
it's
now.
a big overarching plot where the focus really boils down to the friendship and possible romance between these two high schoolers, and it just starts to branch out. But I feel like they kind of hinted towards that, but he hasn't made any solid like this is this side, this is the other side. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
no black and white definitions or boundaries here. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll get to that in this season. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's why I really like this. I like the creator. I like the editor. They play off on each other a lot. I like that the editor gave him like just, dude, you are like clearly struggling, but I'm so glad this dude gave him a chance because he has created just like a masterpiece that is continuing to do really well, and it's awesome. Like the writing and the art style is just sick.
Yeah. I mean, also coming from being an assistant working on Chainsaw Man and Hell's Paradise, like you're coming from one banger to another banger, and then
Mm.
to have yours blow up like it did, like you guys are talking about, I'm here for it. I will say the first episode is something like once you get past that, the rest of the story starts falling into place very well. And to Eric's point, the grand scheme that you're kind of picking up from, some people are calling this part one, some people are calling this season one, but the fact that both of our main characters, one is into the supernatural, one is into the extraterrestrial, and then the big scheme is like the supernatural is keeping the extraterrestrial at bay. It's that starts bringing into oh man, like it's crazy how a story like this, as goofy and as full of silliness as it is, when you sit down and start looking at it and giving it a chance and allowing the creator to actually go past the initial shock and the gimmick of the first episode and all the humor, let me eat your banana and all out of nowhere, right? People are just like, yo, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
So then you get into these greater stories in the manga that got translated so well into the anime is when you fight these yokai, they have a backstory, and you realize what happened to him, what led to him. Almost like Demon Slayer when he kills one of the
Yeah,
higher
I was
ranked
just
demons.
about to say, it reminds me of Demon Slayer.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like I think it really picked up in when he was in the mountain arc when he was fighting Rui, right? And you start seeing the demons that Rui kind of forced to live with him to be his family, and you start seeing when Tanjiro was dispatching them, seeing what their life was like before that. And then even when he gets to Rui, you see why he ended up being the way he was, forcing people to be his family because he never had that as a child.
Yeah.
So the one with Silky Dancer, that episode broke the internet.
Oh God, I can't wait to talk about that.
Broke the internet, right? So people are getting attached to these characters, and even the silliness with the school mannequin, right? And his I'm
Yeah,
like,
I
this
love
is,
that episode. I was
this
like,
is, I'm like,
my
this
heart.
is so
I was like,
goofy.
oh my God.
But when the sun starts coming up and old boy and show up and you see, what happens, he got hit by the truck, you're just like, he ain't coming, girl. Like, but it ain't his fault. Don't think he doesn't love you. And then he shows up. I'm just like, my man Taro came through for love.
Yeah.
It's the small
love,
things
man.
like that get you involved into the story. But yeah, Jack, you hit it on the head. To attempt your initial one, Fireball, and then only run for so long and not get picked back up. Some people would be like, I guess it's not in the cards.
Yeah.
And to just come back and give it another shot, and Shonen's just like, bro, keep them coming. Keep them coming. It's amazing.
And I give it out. I have to hand it to this Lin guy, man. Like, if it weren't for him, just like giving him that freedom of creativity, like,
I mean,
be like, look at how that's so sick. Like,
just flipping through his work. If I was the editor and I was flipping through, I wouldn't want to lose the opportunity for this man to put something out because his work has so much detail and passion in it. You're like, I got to give this guy a shot. I don't care if it takes a little bit. He needs to. He's got a story to tell. He's just got to come to that realization himself. Because I mean, it's amazing.
dude, and apparently this guy too, like, week by week is just drawing shit. It's like weekly. He's putting shit out constantly. So like that is the amount of detail he's pushing out, and this is weekly that he's doing that. Like, that's awesome.
It is.
Like, look at that level of detail of that bitch's lips.
And
Did
I
you
mean,
see that?
not for nothing, but the transition from the manga to the anime is amazing.
Yeah, the director did a really good job. I unfortunately this time I didn't actually do a lot of research into like the directors and the animators.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's way more graphic in the manga.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But
the manga is more like if you go through the manga, yeah. Here's like episode 1 where you're just like, yo,
Yeah.
what is going on here? Like this part,
Initially, like what?
you're just like, hey,
what?
hey. My wife, like Apple's looking at me like, so this is what we watching now. I'm like, I swear to God, like this isn't the main thing.
Right? Research.
Yeah.
Okay.
Steven and I, because we didn't see it on Crunchyroll, because I don't think it was out on Crunchyroll first. It was out on Netflix first.
No, it was
And-
Crunchyroll. It was like,
oh, was it really?
yeah.
Dang. Okay.
Well,
we
initially,
saw it.
the first 3 episodes were released in some theaters, so you could watch the first 3 episodes of season 1 like a movie, like how they
okay.
release them.
Oh, okay.
So those already came out, but a lot of people didn't check them out because it wasn't like a wide release and it wasn't well known, so nobody went to go check them out. So that's why episode 1 came out. People were jumping on here like, the fuck y'all got us watching out here, you know?
Yeah, like I saw it and I was like, hey, Steven, there's a new anime. I read something from someone saying like, hey, it's really good. I'm like, but no one else has been talking about it. We should watch it. And then when that scene came on, we were like,
Was she not looking at? Was Steve looking
should
at
we
you
keep,
like?
should we keep going?
Yeah, I know. It
I'm like,
yeah.
bro, if I didn't get that, you know, like Crunchyroll didn't give me this is for mature audiences only. So I'm like, I'm assuming penetration's not about to happen here.
Yeah.
But it was getting kind of
Like,
close. She was
It's
sweating
just
and stuff.
suggestive. It's all suggestive. But still, I was like, oh my god. Tentacle porn is about to happen right now.
Yeah, in the first joint. But looking at I think the biggest thing he wanted to do when it came to the anime adaptation is, like you said, Jackie and Eric, you were looking at the set pieces and the frames from the manga. It is kind of more of a darker. You can almost say it was like a horror. It like just looking at the frames, like is this a horror type?
Yeah, you wouldn't
Manga?
think that it's gonna be like comedy, like the way it is. You
Yeah.
just
So
wouldn't
when it
expect
came
that.
to the anime adaptation, he was like, I want to focus more on the humor side of it and not so much on the darker supernatural yokai side of it. So I think that. I mean, it probably would have found an audience either way, but I think going with the little lighter side, with the comedy, the colors and stuff, not being so dark and gloomy, I think that kind of led to the more general audience picking it up and, you know, the embracing the reception being up. Because like, even if it was darker, I still would have watched it.
Oh yeah.
Based
Yeah.
on the what I feel is a hole that needs to be filled when it comes to like the horror genre for anime. Like we had Uzumaki try to fill that in, but we all know how that went. So
that's the no people. We don't talk about them.
we
They're
don't
the ones who
the
will not
anime
be
that
named.
shall not be the
But,
Voldemort.
No, I still haven't read it, so I'm gonna go read it. I am gonna read it because I heard it's fantastic. It's a fantastic read.
I'm
It's
sure. Yeah,
amazing.
reading it would probably be
So-
100 times better than the experience for that. But I mean, I think a
Oh,
good
yeah.
point is that there are numerous spots in this part 1, season 1, where it does take more of a darker, serious tone. You know, and I think
Sometimes,
it's
yeah.
easier
Mhm.
that he primarily brings you in on a much lighter, colorful, friendly, humorous note. So when you reach those ones, it's not just too harsh, because we all know there's numerous episodes where it's just pulling on your heart. And if you're already in the dumps, like it's already like
Oh,
super
that's cool. I
drab.
like the colors in that one. I
Yeah.
don't like though. This is what anime does sometimes. Anime does do a good job, but then there is the level of detail that does get missed out of some of the things in the anime that is in, or sorry, out of the manga that is like in the anime that is out of the manga.
Mhm.
As we've seen with some of the stuff, like the level of detail even inside of Turbo Granny's mouth and in there, like you can't really see it in the anime.
Right.
But it's still great. Like I agree. Like the colors and everything that they did with it, I think Grandma looks way better in the manga though. She looks way more
Hey,
badass.
she's
But she's still
Bay.
badass.
She's Bay in any medium of the art.
That is mommy. And like when you read or watch, it doesn't matter. In the beginning, Momo talks back about how her grandma did this for her, and she had like a tough relationship with her grandma because she was getting made fun of for doing all these like stupid rituals when she leaves the house and stuff. You don't realize that she looks like this young fucking
Yeah,
gilf.
you're like,
Like you don't
okay.
you don't realize that like Grandma Momo is a fucking gilf, like to
Yeah.
the max gilf. And you think she's just like probably just a nice whatever, and then she shows up like what? I think it's like episode 2 or
Yeah.
3,
3. Yeah, I think it's 3 in the morning.
and you're like, yo, dude. this
Yeah,
is
because
I thought you see her. Yeah, but
yeah, because episode
it's
2 they
definitely-
come back to the house, and then that's when the other yokai comes and attacks. And
she shows up at the end.
yeah,
and
she
then
shows
you see
up
her
at the
more
end,
in
and
the
then
third.
like the
then you
third
get the
episode is
Yeah.
the
combination of okay, she is Obachan. I did not know that. You know?
Yeah, so
You
when I
weren't
see her,
expecting that.
when I see her, or I'm like, yo, give me some of that.
But I mean, in a way, and I think that this is a cool point too, is he took a lot of the standard anime and manga tropes as far as the characters and totally went outside of it. It's not very common that this when you deal with a lot of animes and manga, the main female is not usually so extroverted and animated with everything. Usually that's left for another character, or she'd be a side character, but he gave Momo much more personality, much more outgoing, much more expressive, and more modern, a modern more take than the traditional, where the female characters would be more polite, submissive, withdrawn, like not so outwardly, emotional and she did that with Obachan too. I mean, literally, I can't think of many other series where Obachan suddenly looks like she belongs in a swimsuit as a swimsuit model or something.
Right.
Just like that doesn't normally happen either. So
If you watch any animes like those or read any manga like that, you're either reading a harem, or I think those mangas are called rentai or something like that. I don't know
like
what they're
that.
called.
But I mean, even the
Risque.
heroes, I mean, both of them, Momo, Okura, they're not the standard. Like when they introduce more characters, her old childhood friend is more of the standard anime hero guy, the bigger, physically, impressive kind of suave male. They don't usually cast the dude who's in the back reading the nerd magazine as being the hero. So I think he pulled on a lot of things that make it more relatable as well. It's not just the standard stuff. It's a lot like relatable, things with movies and comics and anime and everything. With Chainsaw Man, with JJK, it's all starting to be more modernized, and the characters are reflecting more of this generation or closer to this generation. As in, the characters aren't all the hero's got to be this, stoic tough guy who perfect hair, badass who's it's starting to, and I think that's why this has such an appeal too. Is it's not just your standard tropes, your cliched characters. It's starting to step out into something where people are like, these characters are interesting because of the fact that they're not just your run of the mill people.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like this creator, and I really like too that they're kind of just they have kind of a plan now since it's kicked off so well. So like I think that the next portion is already out before he gets to the next. I haven't read it, so I'm not sure like what it's looking like now. Willie, you said that you've read it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that there's like 3 different big arcs apparently that delve into more of like the kaiju and some other stuff too. So I'm excited to see.
Yeah,
I know we're still talking on the manga, but like
So manga aside, like we talked about, July is when season 2 is supposed to come out with the second part of, I guess, season 1 of Sakamoto Days, as well as there's like 5 or about 6 nice and highly expected or anticipated anime coming out in July around the summer. So
Is
Yeah,
that
I
gonna?
mean,
Do you know what volume that'll cover up to?
talk about the second part.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
there's
because
18 volumes out, so
I don't know because I don't know how many episodes are in. You know what I'm saying? Kind of
yeah,
like if you're looking at
probably
like
it's
Solo
probably gonna be
Leveling, right? Because
24.
Solo Leveling, I think the Jeju arc is only what 4 chapters, I believe,
And
and
that's
they're
4
covering it in
episodes.
4 episodes. So I don't know if they're trying to do a chapter an episode. I don't know if they're going to let a certain part breathe or something
They
like
said
that. So
so. What I looked up is hold on. What is I found it. I just didn't know if I was gonna create it. Um, but it said the Kaiju arc and 2 other parts. Cursed House arc, the Evil Eye arc, and then the final episodes are potentially going to cover the
yeah,
Kaiju arc. I
Yeah,
don't know
because
what
the
any of those
cursed house
mean.
was the end
yeah.
of
So
last
if you
season.
Yes,
watched up to
which
the
that
end of
makes
the
sense.
first
Yeah,
part,
which that makes sense. And then Evil Eye arc, don't know what that is. And then of course the Kaiju arc. So I don't know where Kaiju arc ends in the manga, or if it already has ended and they're already on the next part.
I don't think it's ended. I think it's introduced it as part of the entire overall for maybe moving forward into the third part or third season. It might be the link that Cursed House is the link for first to second. The
Oh yeah,
Kaiju
yeah,
arc
yeah.
may be the link for second to third. I don't know because they haven't actually set in stone whether or not the Kaiju arc is going to make it fully into the manga. I mean, into from the manga into the anime, or is it So they're not. They haven't. We'll find out this season, I guess. But
Yeah.
supposedly the characters they hinted at least one of the characters from the Kaiju arc or that portion is going to be in the season, so it only makes sense.
hmm
I mean, how are you going to introduce that character if you're not going to? But I mean, we'll see.
facts. But yeah, looking at the manga sales, obviously, it says here by November 2023, the manga had over 360 million views on the Shonen Jump Plus platform. So that many people went to go read it on the app or however you go and look at it, the website, and
Mhm.
3.2 million copies in circulation by the same time, over 4 million copies in circulation by October of last year, and 5 million by December of last year. So just a
And Jack,
million in the yeah, it's getting up there. And then in North America, I think Black was in the comments saying he has volumes 1 through 11 and he's having
They can't
problems
find the
trying
others.
to
I
find the
wonder
other ones.
if you're looking for the English translation, they might not have been translated yet or available
Mhm.
in North America yet. That's why, because it's still what, March, and I think those volumes probably just recently came out. I don't know what the timeline is for when the mangas get released from Japan to
The
that might be
Western,
something to look up.
the
I
Western
imagine maybe
countries,
like a
yeah.
few months. Like I feel like it's kind of like when they release movies, like for example, Demon Slayer is coming out in July, but then or something, or June, and then the English isn't coming out until
September.
September. So maybe it's like 3-4 months until the English translation comes out. Otherwise, you can bootleg it and just look it up, and people do their best
To try
with
to
English
translate, yeah.
translation. Yeah.
Don't do that though. Support
Don't
these
do
artists
that.
out here.
You shouldn't do that. You should support the artist. This guy's sick, but
I mean, it says
it's
up to
illegal.
volume 14. I mean, I'm just checking, normal book
Yeah, yeah,
vendors
yeah.
and stuff. They said up to volume 14, but I think that's a pre-order.
hmm
Mm.
So they may have up to 14 translated, but we don't know. I don't know exactly where that hits as far as the you know as far as the stories are along in volume 13 and 14. So
I think with and this is weird because you're looking at this and you're looking at the top selling manga of all time. You got One Piece, uh, Case Closed, like JoJo's Bizarre, things like that. But some of these bigger ones, they don't have as big of actual physical copy sales. And I think we kind of talked about this technology wise when you can just bring it up and stream it, right? Or just
Mhm.
read the app or read the manga from your phone or your tablet. So I think they're starting to incorporate that kind of like the music industry where you don't have the actual physical albums and CDs selling anymore. It's like how many streams you got, and we'll do some weird math and we'll say, oh, this equals this many albums sold, or this is how you get platinum. But
Yeah.
because when you look at how many streams it got on the app compared to only
Hey, you said what, 360
360
million?
million views
million views
on
on
the
the app.
Shonen
Yeah, that's
Jump
crazy.
platform,
Basically, the population of the United States of America.
and only 5 million physical copies
Yeah.
being sold as of December 2024. So
So a
that's
small
Yeah,
city.
I wonder if they also include physical copies with, like, you know how people have their e-readers also?
yeah.
See, I
Oh, like
think
the ebooks?
that might be different though. They might not count that because it is kind of like when like with games, video games.
Mm.
You know, they a lot of times when they're counting the sales and stuff, that if they're talking hard sales because they're talking about resources, so
Yeah.
they're laying it against the cost of resources,
Of
cost of
printing
production.
and making the game
Whereas,
case and the
that's
actual
why a
disc.
lot of that is going away, and it's just I'm buying the rights to play the
Yeah.
game or watch this movie via stream. So
Of course, Crunchyroll store.
Yep.
Hey, if you're a super fan like me, you get discounts.
Anyway, so the manga, obviously we talked about the brilliant creator. We looked at some of the amazing art from it, and it is time to get into the actual anime adaptation because I know Jackie, I'm assuming you did some research into the opening and you want to talk about, some of that stuff, or I don't know. You're a music person, but it is time for us to
you are
get
the music
into
person.
and dig into the anime adaptation.
I always like that transition when we get into the anime adaptation. I'm always like, yeah, it feels like an
Yes.
opening.
All right. So, first thing, obviously, when it comes to making first impressions, a lot of these anime, they do put a lot of work into creating an amazing opening. So you kind of get the best of the best when it comes to your animation team to do something amazing, transitions, all of this stuff. And then you got to look at your artists out there and be like, who do we feel can capture the energy that we are going to bring to this crazy story we got? And of course, I think they knocked it out the park with their choice. What do you got for us, Jackie?
On the opening?
Yes.
Okay, so if you guys haven't heard of Creepy Nuts yet, which it's making it even creepier that I'm doing this and stroking my hair while I say that.
It is. You're right.
He
In
said you're
general,
right.
though, besides talking about the opening, just like I'm just gonna,
It's like a villain's thing, like a.
yes.
But move it. Hold up.
I
Before you
can't
get
do a
into
female
it,
villainous laugh. I don't think I could try that. If I
I
do,
can
it'd be
bring
very
the
cringe.
opening up and we can have it run in the back, but we can't play the music because last time
I
we
know
tried to
it
play music,
sucks.
Japan was about to send fleets after us.
My God, dude. I just want to be like, can you
What
not
if-
just like love that we love you? Like,
Could you just buy the music and then you could say I was just listening to it?
Oh hell no!
like literally, I pay for a Spotify subscription. I pay for
know.
Crunchyroll. You're getting a portion of my money. Like, come on.
We're not
dude.
making profit off of
I
playing.
like love you. I am
I
literally
love you
like
guys.
putting your stuff out here. Why are you mad? I'm saying this is yours. I'm not saying it's mine.
Give
we're
us
giving you
this,
the promo, yo.
please.
C circle, C
Get in the
circle,
box.
Japan. God bless it. Whatever, but I understand.
I get it.
Okay.
Anyways, if anyone hasn't even just like looked at this artist though, and like even listen, he dropped a new album. It's called Legion. It's really good.
Mhm.
I say he. It's a duo.
Mhm.
So Creepy Nuts, really awesome. Where they really got their debut for anyone that actually watches Mashal. If you haven't watched Mashal, watch it please. It's really great. The second season opening, they did an opening called Bling Bang Bang Born, and not only was that like a super popular song in Japan, but then it made the top 200 Billboard worldwide. It was number 8 on that, and people were doing dances to it on TikTok. It was like a whole thing. But I have a lot on this opening, just so you know. So get prepared.
Okay.
So the whole opening is packed with a lot of references to Japanese urban legends, supernatural concepts, and even horror media. Like I said before, they played on to the same thing that the creator has. So The Ring, The Grudge, Sada-chan, and Kaya-chan. There's lyrics that talk about Sada-chan and Sada-chan and Kaya-chan, which is the Sadako vs. Kayako horror film that I talked to you about. from those movies. When it gets to the one part, I'll tell you. There's a part in here where Momo's dancing, and it's the same dance that Rihanna dances in "Where Have You Been" in her music video.
Yep.
We'll get to it. I'll point out to it. But this song was so awesome. Like when me and Steven turn on the opening and it goes like into this like rap, and then it goes right now. It's like in this really cool, like, I can't explain the transition that it goes from in here. It's very like you're being taken on this like trend right here, this dance right here. And I also like, I have a clip of it showing side by side someone had from Reddit of showing them do it.
Mm-hmm.
But like the harmony and the way that they have the song, the way that they like create this vibe of like you're going on this transcendent journey. It's like the tones, it's very high and soft, and you're like, oh, this is nice. Then he goes back to rapping a bit. Then the chorus again is like really, oh gosh. These creators are so awesome. So their names are DJ Matsunaga is the DJ, a part of this duo. And then the rapper, his name is R. Shite.
Mm-hmm.
So before they even met, this was back in like 2013. It's when they actually formed. Arshite was actually a successful battle rapper, and he won the Ultimate MC Battle Grand Champion 3 times consecutively. And then DJ Matsunaga was actually a world-renowned DJ, and he won the DMC World DJ Championships in 2019. So these two dudes are just like
the best of the best in their craft.
Best of the best, and just meet up randomly at some like DJ rapper like fucking meetup. That's all it was. And they're like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? My name's this. My name's this. You want to collab? Sure. And then
did we just become best friends? Yep.
Yeah. Yep. You want to go make some songs in the garage? Yep.
Do it. Do it.
Bling bang born. Yup. This is fucking number 8. What is going on? And then you watch their music video, even their music videos, because they make their own music videos to the song to also kind of keep it apart from the anime and be on its own. Dude, the music videos are crazy. And even the music video to this one I thought was so sick, and it was so much fun to watch. These guys are just super freaking talented. They're really cool looking too. There was I will say, watch this at your own discretion, and just a forewarning, it's a little cringe. There is a guy out there that does English translations of Creepy Nuts songs, so he will rap but it'll all be in English. I didn't think it was bad, but when you listen to it, you're like, yeah, dude, I love the Japanese version.
Yeah, 100%. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Oh, okay, cool. I mean, it was kind of cool because I was like, oh, now I get to hear the lyrics in English, but at the same time, I was like, Steven was like, I hate it. Turn it off. I was like, okay, fine.
My man.
But yeah, he's got this whole cool, crazy, like it matches the song, but also it's his own or their own. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it also in the lyrics too. So I talked about like how they mentioned like some notable movies. The whole song itself, though, it describes the underworld Yomi as a wonderland filled with entities like the ones that we talked about with the manga, and it to imply the horror comedy crossover. A lot of times the lyrics reference the 444 time, invoking the superstition that 4 is an unlucky number. In Japan specifically, they believe 4 is an unlucky number. They also the song uses Japanese units of distance, 1 shaku, 1 sun, 1 bu, to describe the physical proportions of entities, adding a layer of esoteric detail, if you will. Some of the lyrics that they have, Sai no Kawara, that's this is actually really sad, a sandy beach in the underworld from Buddhist legends where the souls of children who die prematurely go. Also, like one of the most notable lyrics is quabra, quabra, quabra is what he says. And that's like a word that Japanese use to ward off spirits in Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
And then the part where it transitions to really like the soft, like nice part, it's like haireta, 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 haireta. God damn it, I'm not Japanese, all right?
Yeah.
So
What? You're not.
it means I'm inside, I'm inside, I'm inside, which is reference to that movie I talked to you about, which is Sadako versus Kayako, where that demon that's inside the chick, that's what she's saying the whole time is I'm inside, I'm inside, I'm inside.
Yeah.
and then the Rihanna dance. I don't know. It's just there's a lot of stuff in here. It's just really cool. I probably listened to this song at least 69 times. And that's not even an exaggeration. Like the amount of times I've watched the music video, listened to the song, and I've listened to a lot of his other songs. So just aside from DanDaDan in general,
Oh yeah.
these two dudes are just sick. Like everything is just so much fun to listen to. The way the guy raps is super fun. He puts this like cool twang. I don't want to say twang because I can't tell if he has an accent. It's just the way that he emphasizes words and how he changes like a little bit of his tone is fun and it's cool to like listen to. And he kind of reminds me a little bit. You know how Kendrick Lamar doesn't actually dance. He just does like just random shit all
Yeah.
the time and does weird stuff. Like that's where he kind of. Can't say about lyricists because I don't know. Like I can't compare that. But just the way it's like just kind of weird and how he just like kind of dances and chills all the time, and it's just him sometimes. Like I don't know, he's just
Well,
really cool. I really like these
the
guys.
thing I like about him is, well, with a lot of rappers like Kendrick and stuff, like it's just not rapping. It's not like like a Raekwon or just somebody who just raps. Like he can do the melody like you did, like the bridge when it's like that part, how the DJ can just flip it from like
Yeah.
a constant kind of like house party beat, like a house song, just doom 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 doom
Yes.
doom, like a
And it's
Jersey,
almost
like
like
a Jersey club beat, and then it just the bridge just comes in like
Yeah.
a break, like a respite to all of this jumping around, and you just like take a break, and it's like it's almost like you said, Jack. It's like a levitating, like you
yes,
feel like you're floating, and
yes.
when you see the
And the
opening,
colors, like as we saw in the music, like that you showed the opening, the colors with it.
yeah. So for him to go from rapping to be able to just go into like the harmony and be able to layer it like in the booth and in the studio and stuff, like he's a talented artist. He's just not a rapper. Like he's almost like an Andre 3000. Like
Yeah, 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 yeah.
he can rap, but he can do,
Multi-genre
oh
style.
yeah, like his ear for music and these two working together, like it's an amazing pair. So like
Yeah.
you could just go on whatever you use to stream your music, Yahoo, or Yahoo Music. I don't even think that's a thing
Yeah,
anymore.
The
Child
inflection of his
Gambino.
voice,
Amazon,
like
yeah.
Jackie was mentioning, the inflection, the way he uses his wordplay, like the pronunciation,
Mhm.
and the
Oh,
way
dude.
he emphasizes and I mean some of his manner, especially when in the video when their hands and stuff are getting bigger,
Yeah.
it just reminded me of Ludacris.
Yeah, old
'Cause I
school
was like,
Ludacris, like not
because
taking
Yeah.
himself
Ludacris
too
did a lot
serious,
of the
having
inflection
fun.
on his voice,
Yeah.
his melody, his flow stuck with the melody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it gave a feel to the song. So it was more melodic than just rapping. You know,
Yeah.
as Willie was saying, like you get old Wu Tang. It's a lot of lyrical wordplay straight over a beat. You know, boom bap beat, and there you go. But this was more melodic and upbeat. And then, like you said, when they bring in the bridge, it brings this calm to it. So it's like the total contrast, which kind of reflects a lot of what's going on in the show.
Yeah.
Contrast between her and him, contrast between spirit and alien, contrast between reality and this other world. So there's a lot that contrasts, and the song doing that is just kind of matches the feel perfectly.
Yep. Yeah, like a Tyler the Creator. Like he just
Mhm.
you can't just put him in one basket. Like
One
he can do a
bubble.
lot
They've
of
got
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess Otonoke, because that's the actual song title is Otonoke.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a combination of Oto sound and Yamanoke, which is mountain mystery. So essentially means mystery song.
Hmm.
Well, that mountain, even I think that the mountain they show, the staircase going up to the
Oh
shrine,
yeah.
that's a very famous supernatural location. All throughout Japan recognizes that. It's like featured numerous times through different supernatural magazines and so forth. It's a I can't remember the name of the actual location, but if you look it up, it's very popular. It's kind of like to us trying to think of something that like how they talk about like Gettysburg or something here is like they always have ghosts of the Civil War.
Is
And
it like
people
the Fushimi Inari Shrine in Kyoto?
yeah. So basically, it's a hot spot of supernatural. So's the tunnel. There's an actual tunnel that's reflective to the one
I
that
have heard that.
yeah
Yeah.
they show with Turbo Granny. That's actually part of a supernatural, like ongoing urban legend. So he
Huh.
incorporated a lot of these real world urban legends into his creation of this story. So it's cool, and I think that's another reason it spoke so well to the Japanese audience right away. I mean, 360 million copies. That's impressive. So It's
Yeah.
something people caught on to right away. They're like, oh, I've been there. And just looking at that, I saw a lot of parallels with other shows. Like they're starting to do that more, reflect real world locations, so people who enjoy it feel like, hey, I've actually been there, or I could see myself walking there or take a picture and be able to share it, So
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. These guys are awesome. I love them. They're on my plate, like my rotation,
Oh yeah.
at least like twice a week, especially when I work out. Like, I at least make sure I put either Bling
The
Bang Bang
energy,
Born or
the
Otsnoke. Like,
energy,
yeah.
the beats per
And
minute and
you,
stuff. You're
you ever
like,
see that meme where it's like, what's the song you're listening to? And it's like that, like a really cool, like you're just like levitating like this.
yeah.
And it's like, oh, a lot of people say it's Kingdom Hearts. Like if anyone plays Kingdom Hearts and they're listening to the opening before you press play, it's like ding,
Yeah.
ding, 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 ding. That chorus part is what I think about where I'm like, oh yeah,
relax,
this is
yeah,
great.
But
peace.
Yeah.
part two of the opening is not just the music, but also the animation. So the company,
Yeah.
the studio doing the animation, Science Saru is not new to the game. They've been around for a while. So 2014, they've done some things. I think the most notable thing that most people would, if depending on how into it, like Space Dandy. They've gone on to. There's a short-lived Cartoon Network show, OK KO, Let's Be Heroes. They did some promotional episodes. They did three of the episodes 1, 4, and 8. They did the animation for that. Devilman Crybaby, that's over on
Yeah,
Netflix.
which
You can
makes
check
sense.
that out. The
They also
one
did Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
that's oh my god, me and Scott Pilgrim down for life forever. SP for life.
That's really stuff right there.
The fact that Netflix gave us this one season, a continuation from the movie that I loved, and then they're just like, we're not bringing it back. Broke my soul to no understanding.
Netflix stay doing that, man. They just like
I'm
love
like,
playing
come
on people's
on,
feelings.
come on. And if you haven't seen Scott Pilgrim, please go check it out. It's still on Netflix.
And if anyone that works at Netflix is ever watching this or you ever watch it at some point in your life, like, come on, dude. Stop doing that.
They also did 2 short films on the Star Wars Vision back on Disney Plus
okay.
when they had like I think it was like several different short stories that were done by different animators. So they done the I think it's the Akakiri and then the TOB1. So they did those 2 episodes.
Okay. That was impressive actually.
Yeah, so I mean this and then of course right from Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, they're like, well, if you don't want us to do that anymore, I guess we can put all our attention on DanDaDan now, which I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
But
it was cool to see
I would
it
also,
come back.
yeah.
I mean, and the art for the Scott Pilgrim thing, I know it's totally up, but for the Netflix one, I mean, it was spot on with all the,
That's the
the
first thing I
original.
said when I saw the actual animation for DanDaDan. I'm like, I feel like I just seen this on Scott Pilgrim, and once I found out it was the same studio that did it, I was like, so I haven't looked into it. I don't know if Netflix was like, we're not getting it back, or if they picked up DanDaDan and they were just like, we're going to focus on DanDaDan and we're not coming back to do more Scott Pilgrim. I don't know how that worked. I got to look into that. But I was hurt when Scott Pilgrim fell off, but seeing how DanDaDan kind of came in and Science, Saru is still out here doing what they're doing. I'm not upset about that. And word on the street is
Willie, I'm going to break your heart. I looked it up.
Netflix cut them off.
Yeah, well, they said that apparently the reasoning they canceled it is O'Malley, which I think is the creator of
Brian
that.
O'Malley, yeah.
Mentioned that they put everything they had into the first season, wanting it to be a self-contained masterpiece.
Oh.
So it was never planned to be a second season?
You didn't have more to go on.
So.
Then why did it end the way it did? Never mind.
I don't know. I never watched it. I can't tell you.
Never mind.
Look that up yourself.
That's curious because it was kind of a not necessarily cliffhanger, but ends with possible or like
Netflix and Thrill.
We'll never get Netflix and Thrill because they just fucking come out with banger shows and they're like, fuck it.
Yeah, and then they drop it and they come out with garbage like Army of the Dead.
Or maybe the creator Brian O'Malley, if he's like, this is it, this is the story he wanted to tell, fine.
Yeah,
he's a weird guy. No offense, you know what I'm saying? Like, he created Scott Pilgrim in that world, and it's up to him. That's his property if he wants to cut it off. But
Yeah, but there's
Brian,
we got
Brian, if
Apparently,
you're listening,
apparently that's as early as like November 20th, 2024. That is like the recent update. I guess he came out
He
on
just didn't
Twitter
wanna-
or X, whatever you want to call it, and said no.
Brian, if you're listening,
Why?
the fans want it. The fans want more Scott Pilgrim.
What
I
else
don't
are you
care
doing,
if you
Brian?
intended for
What
this
else
to be
are
a
you
masterpiece.
doing?
It needs to
Said,
continue.
what else are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you
You're
doing,
breaking
Brian?
Willie's heart, Brian.
But they are also on deck in 2026 to, I don't know if it's a movie, but there's a Ghost in the Shell project that they're working on. I don't know if they're revamping it, if they're trying to tell another story with another, and that's my thing. You can keep it in the Ghost in the Shell universe. You just don't need to keep using the same protagonist.
I
wish they do that more often. Like
I
continue with different characters in the same universe.
Yes.
Not
Yeah, like the amount of times that they have done some type of something of Ghost in the Shell at this point and it's failed like miserably every single time, they just need to stop. Everyone needs to stop. Just stop. Just stop
they put
doing
a lot
it.
of effort into it too. You have some that have amazing art. It's just you're not going to follow the first story with the same characters and then change them all up and expect everyone to be like, yeah, I'll roll with this. I mean, what made it great was the characters from the first one.
This
I
will
mean,
work
the art
for
too,
me.
but I mean,
This
it's
will
like-
do. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's going to settle when they've already seen what the peak of
exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, this was sick. Yeah, it's the animation studio. I was like, yo, this is the colors. Everything. Like there was never a time where I was watching, especially when the fight scenes came in and like things like the panels are happening really fast,
is. Uh-huh.
that I was like, oh, they skipped over some of like the animation for that or made it look shitty. Like no, everything was just pristine, looked great, just awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and when you talk about, and we looked at some of the side by side comparisons. Like, I love it when they try to stay as true to the manga as possible, but they know when it's time to take some kind of artistic liberties because this is something that's in motion. So we got to change something up, right? We can't go one for one, with each frame. But for the most part, like they stay true to the manga and what the actual creator was intending for each scene, and the fact that they stay in touch with him and he kind of guides them like, hey, I know you're telling this story or this arc, I don't want it to be as dark as it is in the manga, so let's figure out how to tell it or translate this to the anime and the actual motion animation without losing too much from the actual the context of the
selection
story.
of colors really does a lot for that too. Because I mean, it's an easy way to change the mood of a certain frame that you're trying to bring to,
going from black
action.
and white to actual.
Yeah, because when you're looking at the manga, that black and white and that detail that Jackie was talking about, sometimes is so crisp and really reflects like a darker moment. But then they could just colorize it and add some stuff that, to take a little bit of the edge off, a little bit of the emphasis on the severity of the situation can be reduced by just adding some of the more vibrant colors and taking a little bit of the detail, maybe on Turbo Granny to where she's not as detailed, not as fearsome looking. She looks a little less intimidating. I don't know. That could be the goal, when they want to translate it to the anime.
Yeah, one thing too that I want to talk about a little bit about the anime too, besides just the animation, is the voice actors.
Thank you.
Like they could not have selected a better cast for the voice actors. And really why I want to say this is one thing that I don't know why, but I love Momo's voice the best, especially when she gets really mad.
Now, are you watching sub or dub?
Sub.
Dub?
No, sub.
Okay. Because I listen to
100%
both.
sub.
I listen to both, and this is one of the rare animes where both the English voice actors and the Japanese voice actors are knocking it the fuck out the park.
Oh, sweet.
I did watch the first episode in dub. Did not hate it at all.
That's
Watched it in sub after. Didn't mind the dub. And I was like, okay, this is still good too.
Yeah.
But I like the sub better because the way that Okarun and Momo interact, especially when they like kind of fight, the way that the voice actress for Momo like changes her voice, especially when she's getting angry and just increases and her voice cracks
I agree.
and they
She
just
did.
go back and forth. It's so hilarious to me. Like in this example, like the way they would be screaming at each other about what they think or what should happen or whatever. It's so comical, but like the way I don't know. I love
It's
listening to
real.
it.
It
It's not
feels real.
annoying.
Yeah.
I love her voice actress, and I looked up like who else she um voiced because I couldn't. She didn't sound familiar, and honestly, like the only other anime I watched that she voiced someone was, and I didn't even watch it. I actually read the manga. It's called Her Blue Sky in English, and it's called Ao Haru Ride in Japanese, and she's the main female character on that one, but I never watched the anime, so I don't know. And then I'm just thinking of like ones I know people have watched or like I've seen that are popular. And the girl I like forgot her glasses is another one, which
Mhm.
is I think a slice of life romance. But the other ones that I read, I'm like, I don't know any of the I haven't watched any of these animes. So she's like a newer, not a newer, but not a she's not in super popular anime. So I really liked her, and even like the character voice of, or the voice actor for Okarun too. Like he's really great. Who I don't know. I actually wanted to know if it was the same. I didn't look that up. If he's the same voice actor when he switches to Ken Takakura, if you will, is what they call it, because it's when he's the really like, oh, this is such a drag.
Oh,
This is
so
taking
boring.
so much
I just want to go
time.
home.
What a bother.
Yeah. What
I
a
guess I have to do this. He's like super cool. But yeah, I just think like even like Turbo Grannies, like dude, it's just the cast. I didn't get too far in the episode, so you can talk more about that, Willie, for like the dub.
Mhm.
I really just watched the first episode with that, and I thought everything like just it was super fun and really great to listen to, and the voice actors and actresses are just like
Yep.
on
So
point and
the
really
the
great.
two main for the dub, you got for Momo, it's Abby Trott, and
Yeah,
if you listen to any dub anime, Nezuko and Demon Slayer. If you listen to the dub Demon
yeah.
Slayer, she
Mm,
voices
okay.
Nezuko in Demon Slayer. Veronica in Seven Deadly Sins, she voices Indra in Naruto Shippuden. And
Okay.
she also does
Mm.
like voice acting in video games. She does Wonder Woman in the multiverse, April O'Neil in the Nickelodeon Ninja Turtle games and stuff like that. But AJ Beckles is Okarun, and the chemistry these two have, almost as like you were talking about the Japanese actors. It's almost like they're in the booth at the same time and they're literally like reenacting the scene
Yeah.
as they're doing it. Like the yelling back and forth, and even the small like awkwardness when you get into the later episodes of Momo like trying to hide her feelings about, Okarun, and she like the one episode where she's looking for him and she turns the corner and she sees Okarun laid on the ground with old girl laid on top of him, and she
Oh
thinks they
yeah.
were kissing, and like that shyness, like she's hurt, she feels betrayed, but she can't let him know because she doesn't want him to know that that chemistry and that will they won't they, and I'm not a big fan of that, but in this I'm just like,
The
It
way
what
they
is
is
do
weird.
it though
Yeah.
is again like it's very refreshing. Like that's why I say
yes.
the romance. It's just refreshing the way that they have it because it's not like annoying. It's more like okay, well this makes sense
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
why it's
It's
like
more
that.
believable, but it's not
Yeah.
over the top.
Yep.
I did.
You know, it's
I
like
as I looked up the voice actor, I forgot for Kent Takakura, whatever, Okarun. I completely forgot when Steven and I first watched the episode. I paused it and I was like, "What? Who is that voice actor?" I was like, "Steven, I know who that is," and he's like, "Who?" And we played it more, and I was like, "Yo, that's Tanjiro from fucking Demon Slayer." And
mm,
as I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking it up, he is the Japanese voice actor,
Yeah.
anyways. He has voiced a lot. So he's
yeah.
voiced Tanjiro. He's voiced, ironically enough, Ken from Tokyo Ghoul.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Kaneki. He voiced Kosei in Your Lie in April. So Arima, saddest anime ever. If you ever watched Aldo Noah Zero, which I did, he voiced Kaizuka. He's also he voiced Takumi in Food Wars. That's crazy. He also voiced. I'm trying to see like he was in Undead Unluck. Sakamoto Days. I haven't gotten that far, but he's Yoichi Nagumo. He's in a
He's
lot of
busy then.
Yu-Gi-Oh. He's in a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh. He's
He's a
actually
busy dude.
He's
dude.
he's in high
He's in a
demand.
bunch.
He's in high
But
demand.
the biggest
Yeah.
ones he's in, he's also Grammy Thomio. Oh, he's Thomio in Bleach.
And Bleach, yeah.
Wow.
The
Dang, he is busy dude.
the American voice, the English voice actor also voices Grimmy in Bleach as well.
That's funny.
He also
so that,
does.
You can see how the similarities. They
Hengaki
really do
in
try to
Tokyo
pair
Revengers,
up the.
Yeah.
Oh, you said
Yeah.
he voices Kakashi.
No, Hengaki and I don't know if you watch Tokyo Revengers, but he voices Hengaki.
Oh,
Then he does
I haven't yet. Yeah.
Tachihara in Bungo Stray Dogs. So
Just really great.
yeah.
Really great voice. Yeah. I
I
wonder
think
who's the
it
grandma.
really can make or break, so it's very important. Cause
Oh, 100%.
especially when they dub it. I mean, there's been atrocities that we've all seen. It's like,
I mean, yeah. Have you
oh my
watched
God.
fucking Attack on Titans? Fucking English dub.
Chill.
Okay, sorry. I will say, so Steven and I get into not arguments, but like we'll go back and forth because Steven will constantly show me the one clip in English dub of when his name is escaping me, but it's when the monkey fucking Titan is shooting all the rocks and everyone's about to die, and that's when old dude Lieutenant Colonel dies or whatever. I can't even remember his name right now. But that scene in English dub, and it's actually pretty sick and it sounds great. So he shows me all the time. But then I listen to Aaron's voice in English dub, and I'm like, what are we talking about right now?
What are
like,
we
this
doing?
Is just because one dude is good.
Yeah,
What are we
it sabotages the emotion of the scene. It sabotages the character to where, I mean, you'll be watching it and you know, and the dude sounds like a badass, and then you switch over to dub and you're just like,
That's
it's
the
like they
Dover
got
demon.
Carrot Top to play somebody. You're like, what the fuck happened?
Carrot
You know?
Top.
It's like, this is the worst that.
Well,
you know,
it's
like,
it's one of those things. That's why I'm trying to, as these come out, like I'm trying to watch. You know, I end up watching an episode twice, right? Because I watched the sub, then I watched the dub. The sub will come out first, then the dub. So I try to do that because if you go so long watching the sub and then you listen to the, like, you're automatically going to be like, this is not for me.
It's like fresh again.
And I'm trying to get into the habit of watching both sub and dub because when you go to these conventions, the Japanese voice actors are not showing up to these things, right?
yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
when
it's hard because I go to the Comic Cons and I'm like, I
and
don't.
they're like,
know
here's the
any
voice
you,
of Tanjiro. No, the fuck you're not. But he really
Yeah.
is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
I don't want to poo-poo on this
Who
guy's.
are you?
Yeah.
What are you doing here? Get out of here.
Who are
you
you?
won't
Where's
see
the
it.
real Tanjiro?
Yeah, you're about as much his voice as I am. Okay.
Hey, I voiced Tanjiro. No, the fuck
Yeah,
you
like-
don't. Like,
Yeah.
no,
My
you.
sister's name is Nezuko, and she has a problem.
So
It's like,
What?
She
it makes
can't
you
be
wonder,
in the
too, 'cause you know
sun.
they have to rewrite certain lines or something. You know,
I
especially
keep my
when
sister in a box.
they come across words or expressions that just aren't known to English speakers. They kind of have to,
Mhm,
you know, become a little bit creative.
mhm.
But sometimes it's just bad. And I mean, the worst is if I ever get to watch any of these with my mother sitting there.
Oh,
My mother is the immediate. That's not what they're saying, and I'm like,
I
I'm
know.
pretty sure. I know, Mom.
just
like-
just let me have these subtitles, please.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
let me watch some. But
Yeah.
Let me
I mean,
let me have the
It's just-
subtitles, Bob.
and I mean,
I-
I grew up with that. You know, my mom there checking in and letting me know that I'm not getting the full story a lot. So I mean, there was only a
A
couple
lot.
occasions where my mom has come and given us the actual, you know, translation if we didn't have the other version. And I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes you miss out on a lot. You know, and it sounds unimportant, but things like Street Fighter, you know, and so forth, like the
Yeah.
movies and stuff. I'd be watching that or the series when I was, you know, a teenager, and my mom would be like, "Oh, that's strange. They said this," and I was like, "Oh, that's absolutely not what they told us." They said, you know, it's
Right.
like, so it makes a difference, and I think that it shows when they have a show where they've put so much effort into getting the actors to be similar, the voice actors,
Uh-huh.
and to be able to convey that realism, like when, like Jackie was saying, like Willie was when you mentioned they seem like they're in the same booth, or their chemistry and interaction
What
is
drag?
great. You know, it's like it feels real. They have that bond. So
Yeah, here's the trailer for season 2. So again, you kind of see the
Evil Eye.
it's getting more into the darker thing. Like the Curse House is going to be pretty epic, and I love how they don't get away from the comedy and stuff, but they do kind of ramp it up when it comes to like this is the seriousness of the shit that y'all will be going up against. Like there were some pretty serious people they went up against last episode, but now this is like boss level type stuff. I'm surprised they didn't turn this arc into like a movie, but not I don't want them to start doing more of the movie stuff when it comes to capturing the whole arc, like how they did. If it's a small enough arc like Mugen Train for Demon Slayer, cool, knock that out the park, right? We don't need 8 episodes of that stuff. But for this, I like how they're doing it. I'm not mad at it at all, but I don't see season 2 not doing what season 1 did, if not better, when it comes to DanDaDan.
I looked up Mayumi Takumi, like what else she's voiced, the Japanese or Japanese voice actress for Turbo Granny,
Yeah.
and she voiced Luffy in One Piece, but in Stampede, which is a movie, I think, which I didn't realize that, and she voiced Krillin in Dragon Ball Super.
Mm-hmm.
She also voices Yajirobe in Dragon Ball Z, and Fortune Teller Baba. And then she also voices. She's in a lot of older ones, like if you ever watch Urusei Yatsura, which is really old. Sakura Wars is old. She was also Koenma, if anyone watches Yu Yu Hakusho. But I guess it's specifically Koenma in the movie, which I really hate sometimes when they have movies come out and they choose to have different voice actors or actresses for the movie. It doesn't ever make sense to me, but she's
like,
in a lot of older ones. So this is the most newest one that she's been in is DanDaDan.
Oh, so the English voice actor for Granny is Carrie Walgren, and apparently she voiced Robin from Witch Hunter Robin.
Okay.
Oh.
So on the dub version. So I mean, I'm scrolling through just looking at and like I said, I'm trying to get more into, giving the dub and the American or the English voice actors a shot. So looking at what they do, she voiced Fu Kasumi from Samurai Champloo, you know what I'm saying? So she's voiced some
she's got experience.
And very high acclaimed, anime. It's not like she's just out
maybe
here.
The focus is changing.
No, sorry, she is the main actor of Luffy. Just kidding. She's the main actress.
Oh.
Mayumi Tanaka, that voices Turbo Granny. My bad. Sorry.
Because as she's talking as Turbo Granny, I'm just like, bro, this is like Luffy-ish. Like if you just put a filter over Luffy's voice, kind of, you can kind of hear it. But
I didn't even hear it, so that's crazy. Now I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna really listen.
Maybe they're trying to improve it. I mean, it's been a complaint for all anime fans for decades now that the dub versions are just terrible. Maybe they're putting a little more like, all right, we got to do it.
Well,
we can't.
So
do
in the
anymore.
90s, early 2000s, dub was fine. They were actually doing a good job, but then
to be honest,
2000s and on,
early
awful.
Late 90s and stuff, all we knew was dub. Dragon Ball was dubbed to me. Mm-hmm. When I heard Goku's Japanese voice, I couldn't.
Awful.
I was like, this is a sin.
Yeah, even to this day, I have to watch Dragon Ball Super in dub. I cannot watch it.
This is a sin.
And that's because that's like Willie said. We just didn't know. We didn't have any other options. So that's what
there are times still like Full Metal Alchemist. I tried watching that in sub. I was like, absolutely not. This is dub.
Yeah.
The voice actors in all of it in dub are just pristine.
The only one I flipped.
Yu Hakusho, same thing.
The only one I flipped was Bleach, because Bleach was coming on Adult Swim, and the English voice actors knocked it out the park. Right, I'm all in. I got stationed over in Korea where we didn't get Adult Swim. So then that was me and LimeWire. You know, I was risking my laptop's life out there to get episodes. And the only thing I could find is the sub versions. But the first sub one I looked, like, this is just when they got to Soul Society and they started, like, realizing Bankais. When I heard that Bankai,
dude, it's hard.
I was like, yo, that shit hits.
In the Japanese version,
yeah,
it's
and
hard,
then all of a
dude.
sudden, you know, LimeWire's like, here's the English dub. I'm like, finally, and I start downloading that, and they're like, Bankai. I'm like, whoa. You did not give that the reverence. You didn't give that the reverence it needed, bro.
Yeah.
Like with
yeah.
Bankai. Like, whoa, you did that too fast.
You're a bad guy.
Yeah, what they do, they hire Haley Joel Osment to be up there, like. It's like
Bankai. I'm like, no. Bankai. That I need bass in that shit, my boy.
Me and my sword are best friends. Here he comes. Bankai.
Roar, Zimbaril. Like, oh my god, get out of here, Renji. You need a sorry ass sword. But either way.
Gatsugo Tensho. Like, bitch, shut up.
Yeah, so
Use some of that throat.
Whoa, ma'am. What are we?
Ma'am.
This is a family show here.
Sir.
Bring me that Zenpaku.
Bring me that sword. But sir.
LimeWire. So he's like, LimeWire, how old are you? Bro, we
I
we're all the
too.
same age, bro.
Yeah, that's
come
why I made
on.
my CDs.
Come on. Mixtapes? Come
I
on.
had all the LimeWires, man.
But so I mean it like we said, we showed side by side comparisons, frame, manga, anime. Talked about some of the other projects that Science Saru worked on. Saw a trailer for season 2. Apparently 15 July is what a lot of these things are dropping on. So if that's a Saturday, Lord bless us. You know, Crunchyroll, whatever you're streaming these things on.
Need something to fill my solo leveling Saturdays with.
Are we? No, we're not going to talk about that. We'll have to have an episode dedicated to solo. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen that, it's late March. I think we saw the fight of the year, anime-wise. So, that's just me. I'm just one person, but Lord Jesus.
Gave me some Demon Slayer, the Sound Hashira
yes.
episode vibes.
Now, if we were to compare it to, we need to do an episode where we're just talking about our favorite fights and stuff like that. I think so.
Favorite action sequences.
Favorite action sequences or something, because I'm just, bro, there's so much stuff for us to talk about in so little time.
Yeah, and also there's the different approaches, like the old school idea of some of the anime action. It would be action, but then it'd be a still frame. I don't know how to explain it or what the actual term is for it.
Mm-hmm.
You would know action is coming, and then when the action happens, they threw a lot of still frames in to convey the action, where the newer anime has a lot more movement and flowing and real-time action, and they use the blur effect or so forth, or lighting effect, to change it to give it more of a visceral, like, action sequence. But I mean, I'm a fan of both because I grew up with the other. You know what I mean? So I'll still like the ones where, they don't have as much, of the special effects, but it still hit home because it still conveyed the story well enough that the action was going on. So, I mean, to me, those are the two types of action I've seen the most of, is like the still frame where they'll shoot a couple still frames to convey that the fight happened, and then now you'll see like the blitz and the blades and the energy and everything hitting each other in flashes, and it feels very realistic. I did. Back when I watched
CJ's like he watched it in black and white.
I'm gonna pee my pants.
CJ, when I watched Voltron, there's only 4 lions. Okay, that's how old I am. Right.
There was no Joy in Voltron. He just fought his 4 lions, and if they
like,
lost, they lost.
We can come together.
Arms and legs. We have no body. Oh well. But yeah, so while she's gone, we'll just go ahead. There's one anime I want to talk. I don't know if Jackie has anything, but there's one that I've been watching. that I want to put on people's radar. I think it's pretty solid. So we'll just roll over to put this on your radar portion, and I'll give my little spiel. Again, shout out Kenpachi. I know you're still on the mend and healing up. This whole segment is pretty much based on you putting us onto the up and coming anime. So we're trying to do our due diligence and get on your level when it comes to letting the people know, hey, this is the new hotness that you might not be tracking. So for
That
me,
new hot.
that new hot, what's on the streets. So mine is a anime that I came across, and here's how I came across it. It's called Ameku MD Doctor Detective. And bottom line up front, it's like if House was an anime. So you have a doctor who is very unorthodox with how they go about figuring things out. Her genius level is on a tier nobody's on. So the police department will come to her when there's like weird things going on, investigations and stuff. How did this guy die like this? And she likes taking up the challenge and doing that. But how I came upon this anime was, Spotify's just like, hey, you anime nerd, one of your favorite anime artists, your J-pop artist, has a new song. And it was Amir. And yep, I listened to it and I'm just like, oh, this is a banger.
It was
I'm
a
like,
banger.
this is a banger. I know this is an anime opening. So I Google like, what anime is this the theme for? And it brought me to this one. So I'm thinking it's like an action, because listen, that song is a banger. The theme for this is lit. You're just like, oh, this is some shonen type shit. But then you look at it, you're like, what is this? This medical drama? What is... It's pretty good.
And the main character is super likable too.
Oh, did you check out a couple episodes already?
We're on episode 3, but I'll get into like what I've been doing for my on the radar. I won't call mine on the radar. There is one I do have on the radar, but I'll wait.
It's all good. But yeah, Emeko MD Doctor Detective. Let me bring up. I want to share the trailer so you guys can kind of see what's the goings on over here. We'll share this tab instead. And we'll bring this up to the screen for you guys to check out. I wish I could.
And I wonder, is it Aimer or is it Amir? Aimer?
I call her Aimer. I say Aimer until somebody's like Amir, because I tried clicking Google, like, what's the pronunciation for this?
It's Ame.
Is it Ame?
I just did the whole like pronunciation on Google.
Well, that's Google.
Eme?
I don't know if we could trust Uncle Google on this one.
I don't know, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know if this is right.
I don't know, guys.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, it's pretty simple.
It's Ame.
Yep. So the main character is Dr. Takao Ameku, right? So brilliant yet eccentric doctor of investigative pathology at Tenakai General Hospital. It's named after her father. She's in charge of diagnosing patients in other hospital departments cannot. So when doctors are just like, I don't know what's wrong, they call her. She comes down in her slides and shit. She's just like, you stupid, it's this, and bounces. Almost like House, I swear to God. But for whatever reason, like, I couldn't get in the House, but I am all in on this anime for whatever reason. So it starts off, the first couple episodes are kind of quick fixes, weird things like that. But then there are some episodes that are 3-part episodes. Like, there are 3 episodes covering one actual investigation. Not the last one, because there's a couple episodes after, but there's a 2-parter about a kid who has cancer. She thinks she diagnoses one thing to fix him, and it's not. Well, he kind of comes out of it. They test him. He's like, oh, you don't have cancer anymore. You're free to go. Cancer comes back. He's back in the hospital, and she can't cure him, right? So she goes back to her spot, and she's like distraught because she spent time with this kid. She read books to this kid, and she knows this kid is no longer about to be here. Like, his days are numbered. He's asking her to come see him. Please read me this book one last time. I want to see this doctor. She's like, I can't, because this is like low-key the first patient that she's not going to be able to save. So she's wrecked. I'm wrecked in the living room. I'm just like, God,
Oh no.
no.
I haven't
Like,
gotten that far yet.
yeah, episode 9, Jackie, you'll get there. But it's tough, and it's also good because, like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with shonen. There's nothing wrong with isekai, all of that stuff. But sometimes you just need a break, just to watch a nice little drama, something, a little slice of life, something like that. And I think this is my palate cleanser.
It's
I check
different
it
too.
out.
They don't really have a lot of like doctor animes, I don't think. I think I don't I have to really think about the last like doctor if
Right.
there was one. And I don't know if there has been one.
And again with this one, I do the sub dub because it's a newer anime. And it's not, and I'll say this, like, how I judge it is if it's night and day, like Dragon Balls. Like, one is obviously better than the other. And then you have ones like Black Clover where neither is watchable, right? So this
True.
when I tell you to get through Black Clover was a chore. I'm just like, I just need to get to this final fight everybody
I never
keeps
watched
talking
it.
about. But both
I think I watched a couple episodes, but it was just
the main character is unbearable.
it's
But
not
yeah,
likable at all. Yeah.
Japanese voice actress and the English voice actress both knock it out the park. So if you have something and you're like, hey, I just need something to just step back, take a break. It comes out Thursdays. It streams Thursdays on Crunchyroll. So it's one of those you don't have to wait till Saturday, middle of the week. You're like, new episode. Let me check it out. I think there's 11 episodes out now. I don't know when they're planning on ending the first season. And then the manga there's only one volume out. So I think it's kind of, they're dependent on the manga to continue in order to, it's not like a backlog of chapters for them to do. So I think it's going to be one of those, once the manga comes out, it'll take them a time to develop and, storyboard and do all that stuff for the episode to put it out. So, so if you want to read it, the original run started in September of last year up till now, so you can easily catch up and read up to date stuff. So, yeah. So my On the Radar is Emeko MD, Doctor Detective, streaming on Crunchyroll. New episodes every Thursday. What you got, Jackie?
The one that I have is actually one that I mentioned in our On Your Radar for 2025, basically.
Yeah.
But I actually watched one of them, so I wanted to actually talk about it now that it's finally been out, and that's Zenshu. So
Ooh.
if anyone hasn't watched Zenshu yet, we kind of talked about it on our last episode. We're like, hey, here's some animes that we're thinking of looking at, and it was the one about the animator that Mappa was creating. And we were thinking like it was going to highlight like the struggles and things that like animators go through. I will say that what we thought it was going to be about, it's just not. It's not what I thought it was going to be. It is an isekai, so just going to like throw that out there. But it is different, and it has been so much fun to freaking watch and be a part of. Like, it's about to end. I think the last episode I think actually just came out, so Steven and I have to watch the last episode. The colors, everything, the story, and just what it all is has just been like freaking awesome. And the whole concept, and I absolutely love it. The main character is super likable. And I'll just tell you, like, right away, like, in the beginning, like, normally in isekais, like, no one ever really says, like, yeah, this is. Wait, what is happening? What are you playing right now? Is this the most recent episode? I don't think I've seen this.
It's just a trailer. Calm down.
Is it?
What are you doing?
Oh my god, I haven't seen
It's like,
Ladies
whoa,
and gentlemen,
she almost
live
destroyed-
reaction. Look at this. Look at Jackie
know.
being taken off guard.
She almost had a DEF CON moment there. It was about to go down.
Dude, it's just the animation's crazy, and it's really a cool concept. And normal isekais, when people go there, they don't really say like, I'm from another world and all this stuff. In this one, she's straight up like, y'all are from a movie. I've been reincarnated. This is who you are. And they're like, this bitch is crazy. She's like, no, I'm not. By the way, like, y'all are gonna die. And it's like a whole thing. but it's the character, like she it does go through her struggles as an animator. It shows sometimes when she gets in a writer's block and the pressure that she feels and how she faces that now in this new world sometimes, um and go through her childhood sometimes, and
Yeah.
like why she wanted to be an animator, how important it was to her, and um her connection, how she is connected to this specific world that she got put into, and why, without me kind of giving away, because it was kind of a twist that I wasn't expecting. And um there is romance in it, but it's not as like cliche or anything. It's just really, really nice, and the animation, and everyone says, like, from the last episode that got released, I read some reviews. People are like, "Yo, like, if you haven't watched Zenshu yet, this is a freaking masterpiece." It's real, like, it's just for people who just really just love anime, have a super love for anime. This is just the show to watch for you, because it just makes you realize how much you love it. And I've been loving it. Steven and I have been really liking it. It's different. The opening is super awesome. The ending is even better. I always like it when some songs, I just realized we didn't talk about the ending on DanDaDan, but whatever, look it up. Um the opening's cool, but the ending on this one, I always like when endings have like a I forget which anime did this. I think it was Angel's Beats did this, where they have like a, instead of prolongating the notes, like holding on to the, I forget what that pedal is called on a piano that allows the note to go, but it's like they're doing really quick, like do 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 do, and then it goes like really fast, and it gets into this like kind of beat piano thing, and I don't know, it's a really good ending. Um, I didn't really look up the songs for it, but you should totally watch it. It's really great. Other ones I've been watching that I think people should watch is Orb on the Movements of the Earth. It's on Netflix.
I've been hearing
Gives
about
me,
that one.
oh
I've
my
been hearing
gosh.
about that one.
Also,
You mentioned that before, yeah.
not what I expected either. I would say by the third episode, and I'm not even going to spoil it. I don't even want to talk about it. Just, even people
Just
on
watch
Reddit,
it.
they're like, not even going to tell you about it. Just watch it blind. You have to watch it going in blind. It, the writing and even the style, where it gives me Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood vibes alongside like I mean, the art style kind of gives me Attack on Titan, and then also gives me a little bit of I'm trying to think what else. Can't think of what else off the top of my head, but just it's a lot of science. It's based off of the heliocentric model, and just back in the day how it was um blasphemy to ever discuss the fact that what Plato came out with initially about the geocentric model, that it could be different, because back then the church was very like, the earth is the center, and this place where you're living is hell, and where you're going to go afterwards when you die, that's actually heaven. So people didn't really like believe they could enjoy the life that they were in currently, because they were just trying to redeem themselves, because
Mm.
everyone's just full of sin, so they can get to heaven basically. And the fact that you would think that earth isn't the center of all that was straight blasphemy. You're going against the church. If they found out you were researching anything like that, they would take you and they would kill you.
Mm.
Oh,
Or just kind of like a
It's
little
like, oh wow.
so loving.
li- a little bit about what
Loving,
this is around, and
forgiving.
even reading the excerpt, that's kind of what it talks about. That's all I'll say. um we're still like in the beginning of it, because my other one, and this is why I don't want to say it's on the radar, is I just started watching Invincible. I just started watching it.
Oh, really?
I'm on season 3. I'm on episode 4. Just took me a while to get into it. I finally decided to get into it, and I fucking love it.
I mean, you
So,
must have powered. You're on season 3. You powered through. I thought you
oh,
had to
I
like.
started watching
I
it
just
over the
started,
weekend.
and Omni Man
Oh,
just
wow.
killed his sky. Like you're so far back.
Yeah,
But
I started watching it over the weekend, so I'm now on season 3. So
that finale.
I binged it. I'm
Come
not
on
on.
now.
I'm not the
Hey,
finale, but
hey,
Steven keeps watching it with me. He's like, I just want you to get to the last episode, and I was like, I know, I'm getting there.
peak.
Yeah, well,
And
that's actually why I wanted to start watching it, because I've been wanting to, but
right.
I don't know why I had a different idea of
Was
what
it
it
the
was going
post
to
when
be
it was
about.
like this was a 9.9 on
Yeah, it
IMDb?
was like 9 point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like,
And I
well, I
was
gotta
like,
see what this shit is about.
damn, I probably really. I mean, I was seeing things already like that coming out, but I kept ignoring it, because I'm like, well, I don't know if I like superhero cartoons like that. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like weird about it. Um,
Uh,
Yes.
Oh, he's talking about
Yeah.
Orb. Yeah.
To CJ, what he said. Yep.
Yep.
But
But
I'm so mad at the same time that I waited so long to watch it. But Steven kept telling me, he's like, Jack, now that you finished season 1, imagine the fucking creators waited 4 years before they came out, or like 3 years before they came out with season 2. I was like, that's how they ended it. That's bullshit. Now I get to watch it back to back. So
use your mind.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So now season 2, same thing. When they ended season 2, I looked at Steven. I was like, that's how they
Think,
ended
Mark,
season
think.
2. That was stupid. I miss my wife. I'm
Look
like,
what they do to
Bitch,
capture
shut
a
up.
fraction of her power. Like the way season 1 ended, I'm like, yo, what the? Give me
That's
more.
wild. But season 2, how it ended was bullshit. He's like, I miss my wife. End. I'm like, what? This is dumb. If I
You
was
were
like
mad, but
current
then
watcher, I
season
would be pissed.
you were mad, but then season 3 came out. You're like, okay.
But then I was like, oh, I can just go to season 3 though. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So
You weren't like us
yeah.
that were sitting there like, what the fuck is? And then you go and just read the fucking comics, which is what I do.
Yeah,
like,
you can
bro,
read the
yeah.
comic and you'll know.
That's exactly.
But yeah.
I was like, I need to know what's up.
So that's why I'm behind on Orb. So
No
I'm gonna
worries.
go back to it soon. But like, dude, even like the first like
I will
part
say,
of it, like, dude, it's really really good. It's different.
yeah,
It's very different. Oh, To Your Eternity. That's what I was gonna say. It reminds me of it. The story of To Your Eternity.
uh-huh.
If you ever watch that anime, super good also. But just like the differences with it, and you'll see when you watch it. Like it just gives me a lot of those vibes. It's really like really good.
Yeah, I will say it's good that Deontay, shout out Deontay. He was going to join us, but something came up at work. He was one of the biggest components of not liking Invincible, saying the animation was bad, all this other stuff. This was earlier, like season 1. I'm just like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, I will die on this hill. Invincible is
Yeah,
is
they did
what's
an
up.
excellent job bringing
Yeah.
it to.
I get it. I'm not a big Seth Rogen fan.
I'm not even
but
close.
I actually like his character though a lot. He's one of my favorites.
oh, the
Alan?
alien, yeah, Alan, yeah, he's
Dude, he's my
legit.
favorite. I'm like, I love this guy.
But
He's
like
my favorite.
anytime Seth Rogen's names or something, I'm like, I don't know, and,
I know.
and like I'm still
He could be the
indifferent.
coolest guy in the world, but it's just something about.
I mean, I'm still indifferent
laugh.
on his take on what he's doing with the Ninja Turtles with this new Mutant Mayhem. Like, I like the youthful aspect. Like, yeah, these are kids, they're teenagers. They're not grown men. Like, they were teenagers in the 80s cartoons, but I felt like they're damn near adults because the only one that gave me teenager vibes was Michelangelo. But in this new one, the Mutant Mayhem, like, they're all kids, like 13, 14-year-olds wanting to do 13, 14-year-old stuff. So I get that. It's just I'm trying to see where he's taking it. Like, I'm just not, because I'm coming off of Last Ronin. I'm reading the comics, and I'm just like, and then we revert back
That's
to
a
this,
lot
like,
more.
I'm like, ugh, I want more.
Last
fucking
Ronin's more
violence and death.
Yeah, but I mean, I would say that Last Ronin has a lot of anchors in drama.
Oh yeah,
And because normally you've got most of the fans have already read or been following Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles since the 80s.
Yeah.
So they don't need all the action and backstory. So when you're getting here,
I mean, when you start,
well-established characters who fans are in love with, and now the drama unfolds as you're watching what happens when these characters that you've loved and known for so long are all gone, save one.
yeah,
And how that would, how you would feel just watching it, and then how you think that particular survivor feels. So I think that's why that's so good. And then to go back and see stuff that's kind of trying to reintroduce Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to this generation, it's not going to be on the same level.
which I'm all for. Like, if kids are
it's a
gravitate
good
towards
idea
it, and
to
you
do
got
it.
a new audience coming up, do it.
Yeah.
And I'll be content with reading and following the lore of, because I mean, you're leading. I mean, the premise of this one, like, 3 of the turtles have died, one's left. Like, instantly, you're like, who the fuck is it? Which one is it? Who is it? What happened to the other turtle? Like, that was me. And then I go to the theater to watch this new one, and I wasn't a fan, but like I said, it wasn't for me.
Yeah,
it's
for
for
it's
for the new
opening a
kids.
door.
So I'm not gonna be
a
like,
different door.
not my turtles. # not my turtles. Like, it's not for me. I got the comics and stuff, and I can easily go back in Hulu and watch the other one. So
Yeah.
I'm cool. But that's all we got for on the radar.
Actually, I just want to throw something out
Uh-oh.
there. I know initially I didn't do my homework, so I want to apologize ahead of time. But since we're talking about it, it started to jog my memory. Not only did we discussed some of these in the this episode where we were kind of what to look forward to for
Yeah.
2025. This one was about to be on that for me, but I didn't go there. And it's To Be Hero X.
Oh, yep. I know what you're talking about.
It comes out next month, and just from the little bit of what I've seen, action packed, but it's a story like superpowered warriors fighting for the I don't know, Hero X, basically like being the top one to prove yourself. And it's a kind of a play on you can be
This looks sick. Like, looks super sick.
That's what I mean. That's why I was like, it is on my radar. And when Willie asked it, it just popped in my head again because I didn't initially do the homework because I was still reading on DanDaDan and I forgot to even bring it up. I spent a lot of time reading about
Oh my god,
the food on DanDaDan. So, but the To Be Hero X just seems like a very high energy, but also very relatable story of trying to achieve your maximum potential and then to show everyone that your potential. So that seems to be the basis behind it all. But it looks cool. I'm interested in the storyline because the characters seem extremely diverse, and that was what drew me to checking it out in the first place. Was just that normally they'll all stick them either in a fantasy kind of setting for the hero look or a futuristic one. This one, it just seems like it reminds me of some of those video games where you can get all sorts of different skins. Some of them don't.
That's what I was gonna. It looked like the character selection screen for a video game, fighting game.
So it's like exactly. It's
so like this, like
Yeah.
Exactly. You're waiting for it, but that and I didn't mention To Be Hero X because I mentioned Lazarus, and just seeing some of the stuff now that's like follow-ups leading up to its release in April. I know I'm gonna be hooked, and I think everyone else should check it out. I mean, if you haven't before, even just looking up Lazarus and seeing some of the clips and some of the trailers and projections for this when it comes out. If you were a fan of Cowboy Bebop, if you like music and action and the way that these characters are drawn and flow, it's very reflective to like real human action. So that's why I've always enjoyed it, especially back with Cowboy Bebop. You never saw anything like, I mean, it's extreme. You're showing people with extreme skill, but I mean, it was never like, someone punching someone into the moon. So it was very,
It wasn't Dragon Ball. You think you're
Dragon
strong?
Ball
You can't
action.
even destroy a planet. Like,
exactly.
That's how you're gauging power.
You're not watching a guy sweat and prepare to throw a Kamehameha,
right?
And just for 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Okay, you're watching a guy who's good with a gun, good with his hands, and he's trying to just get through a situation. And I liked the flow of the action is real. And then when you see that with Lazarus, it seems along the same key. Plus, I love the way they incorporate music. It's just to the scene. It's great. But those are my 2 on the radar. Sorry, I didn't do my homework.
No, it's all good.
But I got
swept. To Be Hero X.
That's the DanDaDan rabbit hole of food.
Yeah, that was my first. That was my first time seeing To Be Hero X. I wasn't even tracking that. So the trailer automatically, when you're going from the 2D to the 3D animation styles, like it's almost like those games where you like just go from like 2D to 3D, like when that started being a thing, like just changing the dimensions of anything. But cool. Sounds like a nice slate of on your radar, so make sure you put those on there. Let us know what you think. If you have some anime suggestions for us that you would like us to check out, throw them in the comments and let us know.
Yes,
but
please.
We are on to returning to our regularly scheduled programming, and we'll just go ahead and wrap up episode 13. Over there, I saw you grab something to eat. It's all good.
We made some gochujang chicken with
Ooh,
rice and asparagus.
you guys missing Korea a little bit, huh?
Oh yeah.
A little bit.
I like
Mm.
to. I bought some. I've been trying to get some Korean staples and stock up my fridge as well as like my pantry, so that way anytime you just like want some like crispy chicken or something, you can just grab that, make it really quick, and then bam,
Nice.
got Korea in my kitchen.
Nice. Cool,
Nice.
cool. So yeah, that wraps up episode 13. We talked about DanDaDan. Excited for the second season coming in July, as well as everything else coming this summer. This summer is about to be on it for Eat the Cake and for anime as a whole. I will say, me personally, and this is just me, I am trying to track as many anime conventions as I can to try to see what I can make, what I can't make, so we can kind of get out there, get some on-scene coverage, possibly break some kind of news before it gets out to other media and stuff like that. Just give you behind-the-scenes stuff. So that's what I'm kind of focusing on this year. Hopefully we can make that work. It'd be dope if at least one of these things, all three of us can make it out there and kind of cover live on scene, get a press pass and all that glorious stuff that
Noise.
that
Noise.
shows like this do. But I know
VIP.
VIP, that's what we need.
To try.
Okay. I trust you. I'm leaving it to you, Jackie, since you're in Vegas. You got all the connects. You're good.
Oh yeah, super.
But that's all we got over here at Eat the Cake Anime. We just dropped the YouTube channel out there, so make sure to swing by. We're populating that. We will, or I was thinking, we'll do some more smaller segments. I think kind of just off the top of my head, just picking a couple of anime fights to just review, look at, and talk about how amazing they are. Probably come up with a cool segment for that as well, or something like that. We'll record it and then throw it over on the YouTube channel. But I know Eric has some stuff coming up. We have, as far as DFPN as a whole, it's almost TTRPG time, man. So how's that coming along?
It is. It's pretty good. I'm finishing up the last touches, putting some stuff together, but Nox Eterna should be ready to roll on the 5th that Saturday. So that's what we're looking for.
And that'll be streamed live for patrons, correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, looking at probably about the same 3-4 hour gaming sessions, 4 hours, a little bit more than that, and then they'll chop them up into the smaller bites for the general public. But if you want to get in live and watch them play and interact with the characters as they're playing, $3 a month right now to get over on the Patreon.
$3 hairs. That's it.
$3 a month to get in there and watch them stream this thing live. And
you get access to a whole lot of stuff.
Yes.
ESPN.
All right. And again, like the amount of effort that goes into that is not unnoticed, bro. Like after the Fallen Star thing and I'm seeing all the stuff you're doing, I'm like, Jesus Christ, bro. It's a monumental lift. So we appreciate you bringing that talent and those skills over and sharing them with us over here at DFPN, man.
Absolutely. Glad to do it.
Cool. All right. So, unless you guys got any last parting shots before we bid adieu to all our fellow anime heads out here? No? Cool. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, for those that rocked with us tonight, we appreciate you guys. Again, as always, if you're watching this on YouTube and not live, join in, throw some stuff in the comments. We'll check in on those and we'll respond and all that stuff. We want to build a community over here. And looking forward to doing some future episodes, collabing with some more anime podcasts, and kind of growing the brand that way and growing the community because, it's a good time to be a fan of anime. A lot of good stuff coming out. So with that being said, I'm the homie Mac, a.k.a. your boy, joined by the homie Jackie, a.k.a. Do you still do the Jack Attack thing? Is that?
I don't like that. I got to think of something.
Yeah, when you were doing that with Saturday Night Nerds, I was like, I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm not very creative. I'll figure out something.
We'll come up with a nickname or something.
Okay. I mean, shit. Like my nickname on fucking what's the? Oh my god! This is how you know you're getting old. Simple words just escape your brain. Discord. On Discord, my name is Pixie. Like,
first of all, Jackie, like you just turned 30 or some shit. Calm the fuck down.
I'm 31, about to be 32.
I don't know how.
Do
You
you
sound
have
like
your?
Dochi.
Do
You
you
sound like
have your?
Dochi. Come breathe with me.
Do you? Are you getting your AARP ready?
I know.
Calm it down. 30.
I'll
Check that
I'll
social
think of
security.
something. I'm gonna figure out something cool.
It's
I'm
all
gonna figure
good.
it out because I've been trying to find out what's my staple name so I can use it on everything. Because right now the one on my Steam is Jaw Juicy, and I hate that equally as much as
Yeah.
everything else.
Yeah. Look at Eric's face.
I don't know, man.
No.
Ja Juicy. No, we're not. I'm not calling you that
Juicy
on
Smollett.
I'm also not using Biddy because I don't want to use
Juicy
my freaking
Smollett.
government nickname. That's stupid.
Yeah, not.
All good. But
Biddy sounds too close to Diddy. We're not rolling with that either. So
Yeah, I'm
We
not a
gotta-
fan.
no Biddy Diddy, none of that.
She not a fan. She not a fan.
But wait. And then of course we got my man EJ. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Until next time, we'll figure out a date and we'll let you know when it is. But are we cool with doing? Because I know I threw in the chat. Next episode, top 3 villains.
Yeah,
Oh, dude, that'd be sick.
Top
I'm already
3
looking
villains.
into that. So
Top
Yeah.
3 villains
Yeah.
it is. So
Top 3 villains.
be on the lookout. We'll
And
throw
we
a
can-
post in, and you guys, we want max participation on this. We want
yeah,
to know what
you guys come and tell us what you guys got.
your top 3 villains are. across
Villains.
all anime. Now, are we talking villains, or are we going to allow them to throw anti-heroes in there? Do we just want
I think
Mm.
the anti-heroes should stand alone because anime's got so many of those.
so many anti-heroes? Yeah.
I mean, they
Yeah,
at least
I think we should straight up just go to the dark side, like straight up
straight
villains, the worst of the worst.
You
Not
wouldn't
even
pull over to
anti-heroes.
help in a car, 18 car pileup. These are the fools that deserve whatever happened. You ain't even, no brake lights, nothing. You just keep it
Yeah.
moving.
Keep moving.
The ones that take babies and just bah bah bah.
And
Oh
just
man,
keep it pushing.
I don't know. Some of the older anime. That's funny you said, but there's
Yeah.
one where I can't remember, but see, all these demons or oni or devils are released all over through Japan, and there's a scene where it's just straight up eating this little baby girl for like 2 minutes, and you're just like,
Yeah, dude, 90s animes were dope, man.
I was just
The
like,
OVA,
whoa, dude.
the OVAs before like anime series were a thing, and they're just like, bro, we got
Just
90 minutes.
blood and gore and little kid parts falling. You're like, oh my god, this.
We
this
gotta-
is what some
No
people-
one.
We
No
got
one's
100.
safe.
We got
No
100
one's
minutes to
safe.
tell this story. Let's go
There's
all
no
out.
heroes here. Everyone's dying.
Cool.
Yeah, everybody, and you're just like, wow, I need therapy now. I need to actually go and talk to someone about my
Yeah, dude, let's talk about
Yep.
that.
Ninja
So,
Scroll. Yeah, Ninja Scroll.
Next episode, we'll be giving you our top 3 villains. So make sure to tune in for that. Stay tuned. We'll let you know when that is, and stand by for the post because we want to know who your top 3 villains are. And
Yeah.
if you jump in here talk about Shell Tucker, I'm gonna be like, come on, guys, come on. Like I get it, but he's not a villain. He's just a fucking asshole, that deserved to die. So that's what we got coming up next. Stay tuned for the date. We'll be signing off. Please enjoy the anime you want to enjoy, even if it's hentai. No judgment zone here. Do your thing. And we'll holler at you guys next time.
Don't give away your banana.
Peace.